feel like I always talk about how struggle city it is to eat sometimes, but I don't show you. So this is 120 grams of white rice. Made it with bone broth. And it's 130 grams of chicken. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm really struggling, so I'm using Frank's hot sauce. I mean, honestly, this isn't helping that much, but I don't know. But I need to get this down because I trained quads today. So I need to feed my muscles from damaging them today. It's a good damage. It's hard. And it's hard, by the way, because of Retatrutide. And I did my dose today and I went up. Everything that could be against me right now to have a fucking meal is against me. It's hard. And I gotta cook today. Sometimes cooking is hard because you're just so turned off by food. I was like, why is my nose running the hot sauce? I know that I have to eat and I don't want to eat this. I wanted to show you what it looks like to force feed myself. It is very challenging. And it reminds me of the off seasons that I've done. So if you're unfamiliar with an off season, they also call it growth phase. Former bodybuilding athlete in the wellness division. But in a growth phase or an off season, pretty much you eat in a caloric surplus. And people do it different ways. I've only done clean bulks. People do dirty bulks too, but pretty much you eat in a clean caloric surplus, or dirty if you want, an extended period of time. You're in the surplus, and that way your energy is way up to go really heavy, because that's the only way you build muscle, is you go dumb heavy. So I've done a few of these growth phases before. In my bulk, when I was bulking at the peak, I was eating 400 grams of rice a couple of times a day, along with like my carbs in the morning being extremely, high. So I'd have my breakfast and then I'd have 2 of these. This is 120. So it's this pretty much times 4, a little bit less than times 4. I would be sitting at the table like struggle city, but I knew that for my growth phase to work and to be successful, I needed to eat, and I needed the surplus in order to go as heavy as I was going, as consistently as I was going, and to upkeep that for like months. So all that to say, eating food on Retatrutide, especially the day of your dose and the day that you titrated your dose, and when you're kind of at a high dose, even though it will happen even at a lower dose, but it's giving bulk, it's giving surplus, it's giving growth phase, it's just like bringing me back to like, just make myself just do it. Just fucking do it. And actually I remember after my growth phase and I got back into my deficit to compete, realized I think bulking is harder. And you would think no, because it's like you get to eat all this food and you're never hungry. No. If you do a proper growth phase, and if you do it clean, if you do it dirty, I feel like it might be a little bit easier because the density of like the food, the dirty bulking food that you're eating is so high that you don't have to eat a high volume. But when you're doing a clean bulk, the volume of your food is so high. And I just remember like deep into my prep, and I was deep into a cut and I was hungry, and I'm like, I would rather do this all day. I would rather be hungry than force myself to eat. That's how hard it is. To me, being in a surplus and eating, like doing a clean bulk, is significantly harder than suffering and being hungry and like being in a deficit and having low energy. You don't get low energy on a bulk, but force feeding yourself is just, it's rough. Looking at this like, oh my God, I still have so much more to go. Fuck me. I work too hard for the muscle that I do have, and too long. I've been acquiring this muscle for some years now, and I'm not gonna lose it because I have no appetite because of some shit I'm taking. Like, it sucks, but I have to get it down. Honestly, the rice is not that hard to eat and get down. It's actually the chicken. I think I just need to switch up my recipe too, because I find that on Reta, on days like this where it's really hard to eat, if I just do like a switch up really fast, it's easier. It's easier to eat. Like the other day, I went to have sushi, and obviously I'm never having sushi. I'm not cooking sushi at the house, and it's just rice and protein, right? So when I was eating, it was like new flavors, new food stimulus, so it was easier to get down and easier to eat. I do feel like that helps in these scenarios. So if you're on Reta, if you're finding it hard to eat, like I am, switch up your food. Maybe go out, have a outside meal or whatever. Obviously within your macros if you're on a nutritional program. Or just change the food you're cooking at home. But I just find that changing up the food helps so much. This is crazy.